Hello, everyone, and thank you for tuning into my podcast, Xena, Life is a Dominatrix. This is episode 38. This will be aired on Tuesday, May 2nd, 2023. Before I begin discussing today's topic, I'd like to note that each and every my podcast episode, I have a link to my Venmo page. Tips are not obligated, but tips are greatly appreciated. So thank you very much. And today's May 1st. Finally, May. I love the month of May. April showers bring May flowers. The flowers have been blooming. The allergies have been in full effect, unfortunately. But May is the month that I was born in, May 5th to be exact. So my birthday is right around the corner, and I can't wait. I'll be throwing my first event here in New York City, hosting it. I've organized it, curated it, hired a bunch of performers, and I can't wait. It's going to be actually on my birthday, May 5th, in Astoria, New York. Details are on social media if you would like to attend. All right, so back to this podcast episode. Today's topic: Men and Femininity. While subjective in its description, femininity in men refers to someone who possesses traits that would be considered more feminine than masculine. A man who's in touch with his feminine side is usually called a metrosexual, who is a heterosexual man, an urban man who's in touch with his feminine side. A little short story: a long time ago, I had dated a metrosexual. He would go to the salon, get manicures, pedicures, facials. He wore tight-fitting clothing. He had his ears pierced. I just liked him. He was cute. He was fun to be around. And that's what he was into. That's who he identified as back then. This was over 15 years ago. But he wasn't gay. That he was just into women. He was into me. He was into women. I was into him. And I was in my 20s. We're just having a good time. Present day, I've been seeing more and more men who've been exploring and expressing their feminine side, whether it's in a private session with myself or on the streets of New York City, which I think it's fabulous. I see a lot more here in New York City because, well, it's New York City. It's the capital of fashion in the United States. My personal opinion, I believe that they have their feminine side and they are not afraid of showing it, which is great. Actually, the other day at LaGuardia, I spotted a man at the airport just strutting his stuff. He was wearing a tight leather pants, chunky heels. Actually, they were chunky boots. This look can either be masculine or feminine. The fact is that he had confidence to show off what he has. I thought, work it. Just work it. He's working it at LaGuardia. That's awesome. So I'm not advertising my sessions on this podcast episode, but the sessions I've offered currently and in the past. Forced femme, forcing a man to dress as a woman for myself. Sissification, turning someone into a sissy, making the person either wear a chastity device while their mistress, myself, keeps the key to their device. And they're transformed into a woman. They're being called a sissy. Being called a sissy can be humiliating to them, but these particular individuals enjoy being called a sissy. Sissification isn't transgendered. They're men who desire to have their masculinity destroyed in a session by their mistress or their wife, but temporarily. For him to transform into a sissy is erotic humiliation for him and gives him a sexual thrill. Cross-dressing, whether it's wearing makeup, lingerie, dresses, waxing your body, wearing wigs, heels, etc. So basically, out with your boy clothes, out with your man clothes, and you're transformed into wearing a sexy dress instead. This type of person may have been introduced to cross-dressing at a very young age by sneaking into his sister's or mother's closet to try on high heels or stockings or panties. And once dressed, they look at themselves in a mirror and enjoy what they're wearing and enjoy what they see in the mirror. And some get into cross-dressing in their adulthood. They might have seen this, a particular fetish video where the dominatrix transforms the man, makes him wear female attire rather than a business suit. Personally, I've had slaves wear panties and stockings underneath their suits because they really enjoy these particular undergarments. I'd say just try it and see how you like it, see how it feels, and see what you're comfortable with. Some people wear lingerie on a regular basis or occasionally when they're in the mood. And also I've known some cross-dressers where just one day they start dating somebody who's vanilla and they have all this cross-dresser attire and then they just throw it out. I'm like, what are you doing? Just give it to me so I could use it for for other men. And but that's their personal choice. They go into a vanilla relationship where the woman, their girlfriend, is not into seeing that person wearing female attire, so they just throw out all of their cross-dressing attire, which is their choice. Slut training. Someone who wants to be a slut. Sucking cock, stroking cock, learning how to take it up the ass, a real cock or a strap-on. Full body transformation from head to toe. Bodies waxed, hair removal, going out dressed as a woman. This person is really comfortable with himself. He's a man, but really enjoys dressing up as a woman. The importance is to be comfortable with your own skin. You have one body only. Use it however you please. The motto, do what makes you happy. Celebs, mainstream. More and more men have been wearing fingernail polish. Does it make them gay? No. More and more men have been wearing makeup. Does it make them gay? No. For instance, Steven Tyler, he wears dresses. Cool. If he enjoys it, then he's doing it. Some men, they model in kilts. Jared Leto, Marc Jacobs, etc. Dennis Rodman wears dresses. I remember in the 90s when I was a teenager, I'd notice that he'd wear dresses and show off his muscular arms. I thought, how fascinating. He's rocking that look. And people really, back then, people really made a big deal about it, about his hair, about his fingernails, about his attire. Who the fuck cares? He was a great basketball player for the Chicago Bulls back then, and people really enjoyed watching him, and so did I. Caitlyn Jenner. People made a public mockery out of her, which I find very unfortunate. She wanted to keep her transition as private as possible. Fucking TMZ. TMZ would state that something like, her face is looking different. Has she transitioned? It was like public humiliation, which is not right. She did not consent to public humiliation. So TMZ, they're paid to follow people around and report anything humiliating or negative about the person so the public can make fun. And, of course, so people can watch their trash shows. When celebs are outed by dressing in a dress or lipstick or eyeliner in public or fingernail polish, people question and state, are they gay? Who cares what their sexuality is, really? They enjoy wearing these items. It's their body. It's their choice. They can do whatever the fuck they please, as long as it's not hurting anyone. If they're turned on by wearing a dress or makeup, then they're turned on. Whatever. It's their choice. Remember that slang, my body, my choice? That's their choice. So the media. I recall watching a Dave Chappelle skit on HBO, I believe. He stated this. Notice that all these comedians are asked to wear dresses for their skits. He stated, one day they asked me to wear a dress for a skit. Chappelle said something like, I'm good. I'm good. They asked again. They stated, it would be very funny. Again, Chappelle stated, no thanks. They kept pushing it. He kept saying no. Sure, it was for a show, but he would have been paid for it. But the motto is no means no. What part of no didn't they understand? He didn't want to do this skit. But I've noticed that when other actors are acting and wearing dresses for a or a skirt, they're immediately humiliated. Why is that? Sure, some people get off on being humiliated. Sure, this is acting, but are the male actors genuinely comfortable with wearing a dress or skirt or makeup or wig? Who knows? And yeah, I thought that was very interesting. And basically, Chappelle put his foot down and said, no, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. No, no, no. And he just wasn't comfortable with that. And I respect that. And yeah, and like he was naming all the different comedians that would dress up for different movies and shows, dress up in the for their movie. Like for instance, Eddie Murphy, the Wayans brothers. I can't remember other examples, but he's like, I'm Dave Chappelle. I'm not doing that, and that's his choice. So advertising, I can't remember if it was Yves Saint Laurent or Gucci, but they were advertising a new lipstick line. You'd think that the advertising agency would use a woman in this particular campaign, but they didn't. They used a man, a very feminine man, a very pretty male model. Not sure what he identified as, but I found the campaign very interesting. I think that the company was trying to prove a message. Like, for instance, see, men can wear lipstick too. This campaign catered to men as well. The moral of this, to each its own. And I think this was on Broadway, and I noticed the billboard, and it was a very pretty model. He had short hair. He was holding up the lipstick. It was like a rouge, a red lipstick basically, and he was wearing the lipstick. I thought, wow, that's beautiful. It looks great on him. And yeah, so story time. Number one. There was a crossdresser in Chicago who really wanted to be a woman. No surgeries, just really wanted to dress as a woman 24/7. She had a great career job. She expressed her interests in wearing female attire at work, but was terrified. I stated to her, take it slow. Wear a bra, panties, and stockings underneath your male attire. So she did for a while. She expressed that she purchased a pair of 3-inch chunky heels and was absolutely terrified to wear these heels to work. I said, just try it, see how you feel. So she reported back to me, and she stated that she felt good. She stated that a coworker noticed this and didn't say a word. Then a year or so later, she stated she was ready to wear long skirts and silk blouses to work. What made her the most nervous was that she feared losing her job over this. I stated to her, if they fire you, then you sue. Luckily, she was not fired. They accepted her for who she was, and I was very relieved and happy for her. She went there to do her job and became more and more comfortable with wearing her dresses, skirts, blouses, heels to work. So then one day I told her, try lip gloss and then lightly apply blush to your cheeks. Then a little bit of cover up and a little bit of light eyeshadow. And she did. She didn't feel humiliated. She wasn't humiliated at the workplace. She was very professional. This was the new her. Out with the old, in with the new. When I met this person, she had a female name. She was born as a man. But when I met her at the time, I think, I want to say around 2007, she would attend the parties and would express interest in seeing me for sessions. And she was very, very eager to just transform into being a woman. Not surgeries, nothing like that, but cross-dressing more and more. although, like I said, she was born as a man, I looked at her as a woman. That's just me. And I respected that, and she respected me, and we had a great time. And yeah, and I haven't seen her for a very long time. I'm not sure if she's in Chicago or still doing her thing, but if she is, great job. Go, that's awesome. Good for her. So, story time number 2. This is a long one, actually. Someone had asked me, a little over a week ago, I had a phone session with somebody, and they asked me, what's the furthest I've taken someone into transition? So I had to really think about that question. So I'll tell you my answer on this podcast. And I told this person this as well. So I stated to this person, and I'll state it now. A few years ago, I met a man in Milwaukee. Actually, when was this? Definitely over 5 years ago. Around 10 years ago. Okay, I met a man in Milwaukee. He approached me. This was at a fetish party where I was hired to perform at. This person approached me, and he expressed how he wanted to be my slave. I stated, I don't even know you. We have to get to know each other. So he would drive down to Chicago to session on a regular basis with myself. At the time, he was in his early 60s. This was pre-Caitlyn Jenner transformation. And actually, Caitlyn Jenner's around 60-something as well. Anyway, he stated that he really wanted to be a woman. He stated that he felt that he was actually born to be a woman. Born to be a woman. I wanted to learn and know more about what he meant, actually. So he stated when he grew up, he would wear his mom's dresses, high heels, makeup, etc. And then he joined the military in his early adulthood. And then he stopped dressing up, and then he got married and had a normal life. He stated that he was unhappy for years, actually, with the marriage and with himself. When he was married, he didn't dress up. He was a manly man, just a man. When he got divorced, he felt free. He's been wanting to practice the transition with the Dominatrix, but was unsure with who. So then we met at this club in Milwaukee, and the rest was herstory. When we'd session, I'd dress him up, do his makeup, have him practice wearing high heels, practice his dance moves, feminine voice, whatever I wanted. So we'd go to the salon, get our nails done, hair done. Matching nails was preferred. He got adjusted to wearing false nails, false lashes, false boobies, makeup, lingerie underneath his dresses, and being an excellent and wearing high heels. A lot of practice it took, for sure. He stated, I want to go further. I really want to be a woman. I had him see a therapist to really go deep into his transition so he could get a better educated with HRT, which hormone therapy, and what his options are. And then he'd see me and report back to me. So one day he stated, I'm ready for my surgeries and hormones. So I kept asking him, are you sure? You're not doing this for me. You're doing this for you. This is going to be a major life change for you. And he stated, yes, mistress, I'm aware. So he began his HRT treatments. I noticed slight behavior changes. He was becoming more emotional. Then one day he stated he found a great doctor in Wisconsin who would give him a nose job, a lip job, and an eye lift. Excuse me. So after the surgeries, he had to rest a lot. He invited me up to Wisconsin to visit. So I visited him. He had a partner at the time that was caring for him, a man. I recall walking into the recovery room and he was completely bandaged. I didn't recognize him. I've never seen anyone after this type of surgery. She was the first. Seeing the blood on the bandages made me feel very nauseous. I can't remember how long it took for her to recover from these surgeries, but when she was recovered, she came to see me in Chicago. She was happy with the outcome of her face. And then actually, from what I remember, I believe she went to Miami to receive implants. I don't remember what size, but she was very happy about to receive breast implants. So she was very happy with her outcome of her face and her breasts. She eagerly lifted her shirt in front of me, and she said, "You could feel." I said, "Are you sure?" She said, "Okay." And so I said, "Okay." They were very nicely done and well proportioned. One day she saw me and felt emotional. She stated, "I'm ready to get my cock removed." I said, "Did you speak to the therapist about this? Are you really sure?" She didn't say, "I think I'm ready to have it removed." She stated, "I'm ready now." I stated, "Have you found a hospital that can perform such procedure?" She stated, "Yes, in Asia." So this process of her having this type of surgery, she just found somebody. I don't know how she found this doctor. I believe in Thailand actually, and she did it. So she went to Asia. She was very excited for her full transformation. I believe, if I could remember right, I believe we chatted online a couple times while she was in Asia. I asked how she felt. She stated something like very sore, just very, very sore. A few months after her genital removal surgery, she came to see me. She was totally a new person. New body, new behavior, new ID, new everything. She was totally different. She was very happy and finally comfortable in her new skin. I recall throwing a fetish party and she drove down to Chicago for that. I remember her sitting on the couch, spreading her legs, lifting her skirt. She wasn't wearing any panties. I said, "You can't do that on the couch." I was stern with her. I stated, "Ladies just don't do that in front of everyone. Have some manners." She acted very diva-like she can do whatever she pleased at the dungeon. I caught a glimpse at the couch and she was sitting there letting more people see her new vagina. I don't remember what I said to her, but she called me a bitch. She gathered her belongings and left. I nodded my head in disbelief. I know she was proud of her new vagina, but it didn't give her the right to flash it in front of others. The guests weren't like, "Oh, let me see." She just lifted her skirt and spread her legs. It took her about a month or so to finally apologize. At first, I did not accept her apology until maybe a year later, actually. I would ignore her emails. She generally felt bad for disrespecting me. So at this current day, we're friends again on Facebook. And she's now with a woman. She's living happily ever after. I'm thinking now, if I didn't attend that club in Milwaukee that day, would she have transitioned? She thanked me many times for being in her life, assisting her with her transition. I stated, "It's your life. You finally got what you wanted after 60 plus years. So I'm happy we did meet and that I was there for her when she needed me." Her before and after photos when she was a man versus a woman, they look like two completely different people. In general, they are two different people. She no longer associates herself to her past self as a man. She's married and she's a woman now and enjoys being who she is now. So that was a very long story, and yeah, I find it very like a very interesting story, very yeah, very yeah, just very long and very. I was very happy that we met and I was there for her, and we had a great time, and yeah, we still occasionally talk on Facebook, and she's married to a woman and living happily ever after. Um, but that was definitely a very long story. I'm still trying to process it because it's like, wow, that really happened. Wow, like for myself, if somebody wants to like dress as a woman in their privacy of their own home or out in public, then do it. But don't hurt anybody. You're there to express who you are and have fun with it. And personally, I remember an ex and I would go and try to sneak into transsexual bars, and I was underage. I was 17 at the time, and I was just so fascinated by transsexuals, and he wanted to go too. So I'm like thinking now, like, maybe he was really into that too, my ex. And I remember I showed my ID and like, nope, you can't be here. And it was a 21 and over bar, but I found these type of people very, very interesting, very um, like transsexuals differ to transgendered. They differ to cross-dressers. And I think if somebody, wants a surgery, you have to do a lot of consultations for it. That's my recommendation. And really get educated with the hormones that are involved, which are a lot of hormones, and it'll change your body and your emotions. And really, I would definitely talk to a therapist about it if you're really, really serious about a transition such as that. Um, but if you're really into cross-dressing without the hormones, without surgeries, then go for it. Then do it. As long as it's not hurting anybody. And regarding wardrobe, there's Macy's, there's Victoria's Secret, there's makeup at Sephora, you know. And if anybody judges, fuck them. Don't let it get to you. Be comfortable with your own skin. Be comfortable with who you want to be. And seeing more and more feminine men, I think that's great. And as long as, you're having fun, having a good time, and if you need help with like a wardrobe piece or a dress, don't be afraid of asking the worker at the store, hey, can you assist me with this dress? Or, I mean, you might at first find it humiliating, but try it. That's their job to assist you. And regarding high heels, I'm not sponsoring this brand, but Pleaser Heels, like a lot of men have big feet. Pleaser Heels, the brand is Pleasers. I'm not getting paid by Pleasers to say this, but Pleasers have lots of different sizes for men, like 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, etc. And you could find these particular heels on Amazon out of all places. Um, yeah, and practice makes perfect with heels. Oh my goodness, it takes a while to really get to get to walk in heels. It doesn't happen overnight, the walking in heels, but it practice makes perfect. Keep practicing your walk. Keep practicing your doing your makeup. There's so many makeup tutorials on YouTube. It's nuts. It or on TikTok if you use TikTok. But on YouTube, oh my goodness, so many tutorials. You'd be surprised as to how to properly do makeup, dressing up, getting different lingerie, different wigs, different makeup. So there's plenty of wig stores here in New York, but perhaps maybe in your location, maybe there's a wig store, or again, Amazon. Um, you could find all kinds of stuff on Amazon. You could find, falsies, false breasts, false uh, fingernails, or whatnot. Or one day, maybe get yourself a manicure at the salon. More and more men I see at the salon getting their manicure and pedicure, not getting their toenails painted red or whatnot. But if you want to, that's your choice. Those are your toenails. Those that's your choice. Um, yeah, and what I mentioned in my story earlier, sometimes I enjoy going with cross dressers to the salon and getting matching toenail polish or fingernail polish. At first, you might find it very uncomfortable sitting in a massage salon chair, or maybe getting a massage, but you might find it a little uncomfortable, but fuck it. So the fuck what? So what? You're there to pamper yourself. You're there to express your feminine side, or, if you want clean fingernails, a nice manicure, just do it. Clear polish, red polish, black polish. Who cares? Just do it. Go for it. Also at Sephora, there are makeup artists that could do your makeup. And you could ask them tips on what type of color blush that they would recommend for you, because everybody has a different skin tone. So you could ask the makeup artist what they would recommend for you, and that's their job, to assist you. And then you, of course, buy the makeup and tip the makeup artist, or maybe the makeup artist charges a fee or whatnot. So yeah, have fun with it. It's 2023. Express your feminine side if you would like to. Um, yeah. Why I'm talking about this topic? Well, I wrote all my notes down actually on the airplane. I came back from Chicago. I was visiting Chicago, where I'm from, and it's very different than New York for sure. New York is much more open, less conservative, expresses artistic freedom here more so. I mean, Chicago has an art scene. Chicago is very artistic as well, but here in New York, um, it's very, it's very liberating to be here for sure. Whereas Chicago is a little more conservative. And when I was there in Chicago, um, I didn't see um, many people out actually. It was like a city that I no longer knew. It was very, very different. Not many people out and about. Well, this maybe because I was there on weekdays, not on a weekend. But here in New York is just everybody's out and very lively. And for those who've never been to New York, come to New York. It's a great place to be. At any rate, enough of my rambling. I hope you all enjoyed listening to this podcast of Xena Life as a Dominatrix, episode 38, Men and Femininity. And again, I have a Venmo page. Tips are not obligated, but tips are greatly appreciated. So thank you very much for tuning in to this episode. Have a great day.